You did not arrive here by accident. Nothing about this moment is random, and nothing about you has ever been ordinary. Long before you were aware of it, something unseen was guiding your steps, shaping your resilience, and preparing your spirit for a moment like this. You have walked through seasons that would have broken others. You have carried weight that was never meant to crush you, yet somehow you are still standing. That is not luck. That is not coincidence. That is evidence. Evidence that you were built differently, chosen intentionally, and protected invisibly when you did not even know protection was happening. There were moments when you felt alone, misunderstood, unseen. Nights when silence felt heavier than noise. Days when you questioned whether your endurance even mattered. You wondered why life demanded so much from you while giving so little in return. But what you did not see then, and what you are beginning to see now, is that nothing was wasted. Every delay refined you. Every loss trained you. Every closed door redirected you. You were not being punished. You were being prepared. There is a reason pressure followed you. There is a reason resistance showed up every time you tried to rise. Pressure does not chase ordinary lives. Resistance does not surround meaningless destinies. Fire is reserved for what is valuable enough to be refined. And you were refined, not destroyed. You were tested, not abandoned. The fact that you are still here is proof that something greater has been guarding your life all along. You may not have understood why your path felt heavier than others, why your heart carried deeper awareness, why your soul refused to settle for shallow existence. You tried to fit in, but something in you always resisted shrinking. You tried to silence the inner knowing, but it kept speaking. That was not imagination. That was calling. A quiet but persistent reminder that you were meant for more than survival. You were meant for impact. There were times you lost people you thought would walk with you forever. Times when loyalty disappeared, when trust collapsed, when truth revealed faces you never expected. Those betrayals were not there to harden you. They were there to detach you from what could not follow you into your next level. Not everyone who starts with you is meant to finish with you, and not everyone who leaves is a loss. Some departures are protection disguised as pain. You were forced to grow early, forced to understand things others avoided, forced to develop strength before comfort. That early maturity was not unfairness. It was alignment. You were being trained to carry responsibility, influence, and wisdom long before you realized what you would be entrusted with. The world may have tried to label you as too intense, too sensitive, or too different, but the truth is simpler. You were too aware for small thinking, too deep for shallow connections, too powerful for limited environments. There were moments when you felt like giving up, not because you were weak, but because you were tired of being strong alone. You questioned whether the struggle would ever ease, whether the breakthrough would ever come. And even then, something inside you refused to quit. That inner force was not willpower alone. It was purpose holding you upright when exhaustion tried to pull you down. Understand this clearly now. Your breakthrough was never delayed. It was being layered. Strength was being added to strength. Insight was being added to insight. What you are stepping into now requires the version of you that could only be forged through endurance. If things had arrived earlier, they would have crushed you instead of crowned you. You are entering a season where clarity replaces confusion, where peace replaces anxiety, where movement replaces stagnation. The invisible resistance you felt is lifting, not because circumstances suddenly became easier, but because you became stronger than what once blocked you. Doors that stayed shut are beginning to loosen. Paths that looked impossible are quietly opening. And it will feel subtle at first, almost unreal, but you will sense it. A shift, a release, a knowing that something has changed. This is not about luck turning in your favor. This is alignment finally meeting readiness. You are no longer the person who begged, chased, or doubted. You are becoming the person who attracts, commands, and receives. What once required force will now respond to flow. What once drained you will now fuel you. What once tested you will now serve you. Your mind is changing. You are seeing beyond fear-based thinking. You are recognizing patterns that once controlled you. Old reactions no longer define you. Old wounds no longer dictate your decisions. You are not repeating cycles anymore. You are breaking them. And when cycles break, entire bloodlines shift. Abundance is not just approaching your life. It is learning how to stay with you. You are being trained to hold overflow without losing humility, to receive without guilt, to rise without forgetting who you are. Wealth, peace, influence, and stability are not enemies of spirituality. They are tools, and you are learning how to use them wisely. Your voice matters more than you realize. Your presence changes rooms more than you notice. People feel something around you, even when they cannot explain it. That is because you carry depth, not noise. Authority, not arrogance. Calm, not chaos. And as you continue walking forward, you will notice people responding differently. Some will be drawn, some will be uncomfortable. Both reactions are confirmation that you are no longer blending in. You are not here to live small. You are not here to repeat someone else's story. You are not here to merely survive the years. You are here to transform space, to awaken potential, to leave evidence that a life aligned with purpose changes everything it touches. And the days ahead will prove it to you in ways that feel undeniable. What once felt like delay will reveal itself as precision. What once felt like rejection will reveal itself as redirection. What once felt like silence will reveal itself as protection. You will look back and realize that nothing was missing. It was all arranging itself around the version of you that you are now becoming. Stay grounded. Stay open. Stay present. You are stepping into a chapter that requires awareness more than urgency, faith more than force, trust more than control. The work is already happening beneath the surface, and very soon, what was invisible will become undeniable. This is not the end of your story. This is the moment the story finally starts making sense. And as this chapter unfolds, you will begin to notice something subtle yet powerful happening within you. The noise that once lived in your mind starts to quiet down. The constant questioning, the second guessing, the inner conflict that kept pulling you in different directions begins to dissolve. In its place, a steady calm takes root. Not because life suddenly becomes perfect, but because you finally understand yourself. You understand why you endured what you endured. You understand why you could never settle. You understand why comfort never satisfied you. Awareness is replacing confusion. And with that awareness comes strength that cannot be shaken. You are no longer searching for permission to become who you are. You are no longer waiting for validation from people who could never see your depth. You are no longer shrinking your truth to keep others comfortable. That phase is ending. A different version of you is stepping forward now. One who knows when to speak and when to stay silent, when to move and when to wait, when to give and when to protect their energy. This is not hardness. This is discernment. This is wisdom earned through experience, not theory. There was a time when rejection felt personal, when closed doors felt like judgment, when delays felt like failure. But now you see it differently. You see that rejection was filtration. Delays were calibration. Closed doors were redirection. You were being guided away from environments that would have drained you, from people who would have limited you, from paths that would have kept you busy but unfulfilled. What you thought was loss was actually alignment in disguise. Your sensitivity, the thing you were told was weakness, is becoming your greatest strength. You feel deeply, which means you perceive truth quickly. You sense shifts before others notice movement. You read energy, intention, and motive without needing explanation. This is why superficial spaces exhausted you. This is why shallow conversations bored you. This is why your soul always craved meaning. You were never meant to skim the surface of life. You were built to go deep. And because of that depth, your life requires intention. You cannot move mindlessly. You cannot live on autopilot. When you try, your spirit resists. That resistance is not sabotage. It is guidance. It is the internal compass refusing to let you settle for misalignment. Now, instead of fighting it, you are learning to listen. Something else is happening too. Your relationship with time is changing. You are no longer rushing to catch up with others. You are no longer comparing your timeline to someone else's highlight reel. You are understanding that speed without direction leads nowhere, but alignment creates momentum effortlessly. When it is time, things move fast. When it is not, patience protects you. You are stepping into a phase where opportunities arrive through alignment, not exhaustion. Where doors open through resonance, not force. Where the right people find you naturally, without chasing, without proving, without pretending. And when this happens, you will feel it immediately. There will be no confusion, no anxiety, no internal resistance. Peace will accompany progress. That is how you will know it is real. There will still be challenges, but they will feel different now. They will no longer question your worth. They will refine your skill. They will stretch your capacity without breaking your spirit. You are no longer being tested to see if you can survive. You are being trained to lead, to hold, to manage what is coming next. Your confidence is evolving. It is no longer loud. It no longer needs constant reinforcement. It no longer depends on external applause. It is quiet, grounded, and immovable. You trust yourself now in ways you never did before. Even when you do not have all the answers, you trust your ability to figure them out. That trust changes everything. People will sense this shift. Some will be inspired. Some will be unsettled. Some will drift away without explanation. Let them. Not everyone can walk with someone who is becoming clearer, stronger, and more self-directed. Growth exposes incompatibility. That does not make anyone wrong. It simply reveals truth. You will also notice that your desires are changing. What once excited you may no longer hold the same appeal. What once felt important may feel hollow now. This is not loss of ambition. This is refinement of intention. You are no longer chasing things to fill a void. You are choosing experiences that align with your values, your peace, and your long-term vision. Your intuition is sharpening. You catch things early now. Red flags appear brighter. Gut feelings speak louder. And instead of ignoring them, you honor them. This saves you time, energy, and emotional cost. You are learning that boundaries are not walls. They are filters. They protect what matters. There is a deeper sense of responsibility settling into you as well. Not pressure, but purpose. You understand that your growth is not just for you. The way you heal changes how you show up for others. The way you think influences those around you. The way you move through adversity silently gives permission for others to believe in themselves again. Whether you intend it or not, your life communicates something. And now, you are becoming intentional about the message it sends. You will find yourself drawn to quieter victories, inner peace, emotional stability, mental clarity, consistent progress. These may not look impressive from the outside, but they build a foundation that cannot be shaken. Flashy success fades. Grounded growth lasts. Your relationship with fear is changing too. Fear no longer controls you. It informs you. You acknowledge it, understand it, and move forward anyway. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the refusal to let fear decide for you. And you are choosing consciously now. There will be moments when you pause and realize how far you have come. Moments when you recognize that the things that once broke you would barely slow you down now. Moments when you see the version of yourself from the past and feel compassion instead of shame. That compassion is healing. It closes loops. It frees energy. You are becoming more selective with your energy. You no longer feel obligated to explain yourself to everyone. You no longer overextend to earn belonging. You understand that alignment does not require approval. And with this understanding comes freedom. The future you once worried about is no longer intimidating. You trust that you will meet it as you are meant to, equipped with everything you need. You are no longer trying to control outcomes. You are focusing on showing up fully, consistently, and honestly. That is enough. As you continue forward, remember this. Growth does not always feel like progress. Sometimes it feels like stillness. Sometimes it feels like uncertainty. Sometimes it feels like letting go without knowing what comes next. But nothing is being taken from you without something greater being prepared. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not missing anything meant for you. What is yours recognizes you. It will arrive when you are ready to hold it, not just reach for it. This is a season of embodiment, of integration, of becoming, not imagining. You are no longer rehearsing who you want to be. You are living into it, quietly, steadily, authentically, and this journey is far from over. As you keep moving forward, you'll start to notice how your inner world and outer world begin to mirror each other. The chaos that once followed you from situation to situation slowly loses its grip. Patterns that repeated themselves without explanation begin to fade. It won't feel dramatic at first. In fact, it may feel almost too quiet, as if something is missing. What's missing is unnecessary struggle. What's missing is resistance that no longer serves you. You are learning how to exist without constantly bracing for impact. Your nervous system is recalibrating. You are realizing that peace does not have to be earned through suffering, and stability does not require sacrifice of self. For so long, you associated growth with pain because pain was the only language transformation ever spoke to you. But now, growth is arriving through clarity, consistency, and conscious choice. You are becoming deeply aware of how powerful your attention is. Where you place it, energy flows. Where energy flows, reality forms. This understanding changes the way you think, the way you speak, the way you interpret events. You stop feeding thoughts that weaken you. You stop replaying stories that keep you small, not because you are suppressing them, but because you finally see through them. There is a maturity settling into your emotions. You still feel deeply, but you are no longer ruled by feeling alone. You observe your emotions instead of drowning in them. You listen to what they are teaching you instead of letting them dictate your reactions. This emotional intelligence is one of your greatest evolutions. It allows you to stay present without becoming overwhelmed, to care without self-abandonment, to engage without losing balance. Your patience is changing as well. It is no longer passive waiting. It is active trust. You are learning the difference between forcing movement and allowing momentum. You are recognizing that some things need space to unfold, not pressure. This patience protects your energy and sharpens your timing. You may also notice that solitude feels different now. What once felt like loneliness now feels like sanctuary. You no longer fear being alone with your thoughts because your inner dialogue has softened. You have become a safe place for yourself. And when you become your own safe place, you stop tolerating environments that disrupt your peace. Your standards are rising quietly. You are no longer impressed by surface-level promises or temporary intensity. You look for consistency, integrity, depth. You value alignment over excitement. And because of this, your life begins to filter itself naturally. What does not match you cannot stay with you for long. There will be moments when you look back and realize how much you outgrew without announcing it. You didn't need validation. You didn't need applause. You didn't need to explain. You just changed. And that quiet evolution is one of the most powerful forms of transformation there is. Your relationship with effort is also evolving. You no longer believe that exhaustion equals productivity. You no longer confuse burnout with dedication. You are learning how to work from clarity instead of chaos, from purpose instead of pressure. This shift brings sustainability. It allows you to build without breaking yourself. You are becoming more intentional with your words. You understand that language shapes experience. You choose words that reinforce possibility instead of limitation. You speak with awareness, knowing that what you repeat becomes what you reinforce. And slowly, the narrative of your life begins to change. There is also a growing sense of self-respect forming within you. Not arrogance, not defensiveness, but a grounded knowing of what you will and will not accept. You no longer negotiate with your values. You no longer compromise your truth for temporary comfort. This self-respect becomes a quiet shield, protecting your progress. You may notice that some goals you once chased no longer excite you. This is not loss of ambition. It is refinement of vision. You are aligning your efforts with what actually matters to you now, not who you used to be. And this alignment brings fulfillment that external success alone never could. Your intuition continues to guide you more clearly. You trust it, because you have seen it proven right too many times to ignore. This saves you from unnecessary detours and emotional costs. You are learning how to listen the first time. There will be moments when uncertainty still appears. That is natural. Growth does not eliminate uncertainty. It changes how you respond to it. Instead of panic, you approach it with curiosity. Instead of fear, you meet it with preparation. You understand now that uncertainty is not the enemy. Stagnation is. You are also becoming more forgiving, not because others suddenly deserve it, but because you deserve peace. You release grudges that weighed you down. You let go of resentment that tied you to the past. Forgiveness becomes an act of self-liberation, not justification of harm. Your presence is changing. People feel it. Conversations shift when you enter. Energy responds to you differently. This is not something you force. It is something you embody. When inner alignment strengthens, external influence follows naturally. You are beginning to understand that your life does not need to look like anyone else's to be valid. Comparison loses its power over you. You stop measuring your progress against timelines that were never yours. You trust the rhythm of your own journey. Rest becomes intentional.